when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adanna Combie, and we're just about 7:42 a.m. So if you're making your way to work for 8 a.m., you still have some time. Remember to be safe on our nation's roads this morning. We want to get you there in one piece, and of course to get our children off to school in a safe manner. All right, we continue conversations this morning in studio, and we speak with Miss Denelle Smith-Sandy, investor sourcing strategist, and we're talking about an industrial business park open house. Yes. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and you know there's so many words in that introduction, so let's get into it. What exactly are we talking about when we talk about eco-industrial and business park open house?
Right, so the Eco-Industrial Development Company, we manage the Cove Tobago Business Park. So we could just say Cove Tobago for simplicity.
Right.
So we'll be having our first official open house on Wednesday, the 9th of October. And we will be looking at inviting members of the public to just discuss and to share with them everything pertaining to tenancy in the park, how easy it is to apply to the park, the rates that are applicable, that kind of thing.
All right, and what types of businesses does the park attract?
Well, the park is, we don't have any, we don't have many, I should say, limitations when it comes to businesses on the park. The few limitations that we have is that we don't allow retail and we don't allow agriculture that is planted on the ground for the specific purposes that the park is designated as an industrial space. So those types of activities would not be allowed in that type of industrial space. Hotels and guest houses and that kind of thing are not allowed in the space as well.
Oh, absolutely amazing. So this is an invitation for businesses to come in.
Yes.
See the space, know the space, and of course, occupy the space.
Yes.
Right? And this open house is taking place when?
October 9th at 5:30 p.m. Now, the time was chosen so that we have minimum disruption to businesses, at least as much as possible. And we hope in that way to attract as many persons from the business community as possible to come and take part at the open house. The thing is, at the park right now, we have a lot of land space available for tenancy. So the discussion will be centered around land space tenancy. We have a lot of benefits and incentives for persons occupying land space. And we were recently approved so that the land can be used to finance your activities on the park. So that's something that we will also be discussing at the open house.
All right, and I saw on the flyer there that they're talking about things that you can learn, and I think you mentioned one of it there, which include financing, of course, becoming a tenant, constructing on the park, which is what you're talking about, occupying the land.
Yes.
Right? And what are some of the other benefits to persons or potential tenants wanting to occupy space at the park?
Now, one of the things that I will say loud and proud, and I've said it a number of times, is that we have some of the lowest rates for commercial land in Trinidad and Tobago, and dare I say the Caribbean. I will stand by that.
Okay, we'll do some investigations and hold you to it.
So that's an obvious economic benefit right there to companies who are looking to come on the park as land tenants. There's also the added benefit of having between 1 and 5 year waiver, 1 to 5 years, waiver on your rent when you come to the park. So during that time, you pay no rent. Between 1 to 5 years, depending on the size of land that you take and the package that you take, between 1 to 5 years, you pay no rent.
Okay, and what if, because you have to, of course, cover all your bases. So 1 to 5 years, no rent, and in the 6 years when I begin to pay rent, is it that the rent is going to be retroactive, or that 1 to 5 years is absolutely no rent?
It's not a moratorium, so for that 1 to 5 year period, it's actually absolutely no rent.
Absolutely amazing. If no incentive, this one is a good one,
so
of course.
I'm just going back to saying I'm standing on my...
I see where you're coming from there with that one, of course, and the benefits that can be derived from being a part of this open house. What was the idea and the genesis of, inviting persons now? I mean, I know it's the lowest rate, and, what was the idea, and what are you trying to establish, your primary objectives in terms of getting tenants into the space? What are you hoping to achieve in terms of, let's say, a tenant benefiting or the park benefiting? What is the relationship, the benefits of the relationship of both the tenant and the park?
So Cove was established to be a catalyst to encourage economic diversification on the island of Tobago. So that's the whole purpose of the park. So any tenant that comes to the park, we try to make it so that you are successful when you come into the park. We try to work hand in hand with you to ensure that your business is a success. So we have a tenant relations department. So after you're onboarding and you come to the park, you have a tenant relations department, and they work hand in hand with you to make sure that your needs are met. One of the things that we do encourage our tenants to do, we have monthly meetings and we encourage them to tell us about any gaps that they may have. So on occasion, we have been known to offer training to our tenants and sometimes open it up to the members of the public for at a reduced cost to meet any gaps that they may have. And if we can't provide the gaps, then our network is your network. So if we have any kind of connection with business support organizations within Tobago or nationally, then we try to make them available to you so that you can meet the gaps that you have in your business.
That is absolutely amazing, to have that measure of support there to ensure the success of the business. I want to talk a little bit about financing. What type of financing is available and how can the tenants access that type of financing?
Right. So the financing is, Cove is not a finance company. So what we've done is that we've made it so that companies can utilize the land leases as collateral to get the finances for activities that are taking place on the park. So they can go to their chosen financial institution and use the land. Once it's registered, the lease is registered, use the lease as collateral for their activities on the park, specifically on the park.
And in terms of construction on the park, are there any limitations or guidelines that a potential tenant need to follow to ensure that they stay within whatever your policies are?
So each tenant will have to follow the guidelines as set out by the EMA. And we have a projects units department that can, and a parks department that help our tenants abide by these rules. They are offered a guideline. Each land tenant has a guideline, so it tells them exactly how they can occupy the space and what is legal for them to occupy. And before then, the general guidelines is to abide by EMA, and your building can be taller than 3 stories high, which is about 33 meters, because we are close to the airport. We're in no-fly zone, so 33 meters is the tallest you can have your building.
Right.
Yeah.
And in terms of the current tenants that you have occupying the space, what is the relationship like? Have they too been able to benefit from all the services that you are inviting the new tenants
Of course, yes.
to participate
in? Well, the land incentive program is quite new. So the tenants that would have applied for land space before the land incentive program would not have benefited for the 5-year waiver, but they would have had all land tenants automatically, whether it is you buy into the program or you don't, you have 1-year waiver on your land lease. So it's according to, as I said, it's up to the package that you take, 1 to 5 years.
Oh, this is amazing stuff coming out there, and I do hope that people are able to benefit from the opportunity that is upcoming. And remind us again of the day and time, because as you mentioned, the time was set so that businesses will not be interrupted, or minimal interruption, of course, for businesses. And this is a great opportunity for persons who are looking for a space, and especially in a centralized space that is a hub actually for this type, certain types of businesses. So remind us again of the day, the time. How do I become a part of this open house? Is there a registration fee or a registration process that needs to be followed?
Okay, so the date is at October 9th at 5:30 p.m. at Cove Tobago. Registration can be found on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. On Instagram, our handle is EADCOT Limited, and on Facebook and LinkedIn, it is the Eco-Industrial Development Company of Tobago.
Right. And so viewers, of course, I hope that you're taking this information so that you can be a part of this and benefit from what is available there coming out. I feel as if it's a good investment, especially the 1 to 5 year waiver. And of course, we're going to do some investigations to see if you really have the lowest rates, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but the Caribbean region. And I want to say congratulations, of course, for making this available for tenants here in Tobago. It's Tobago owned businesses and operated businesses, of course, occupying that space down there. What are you looking forward to the most in terms of the open house and the potential tenants that will be coming in?
Well, I'm looking forward to persons finally being aware of all the benefits that there are when it comes to relocating or locating your businesses at Cove. There are misconceptions out there about the cost and the price of land and just generally spaces at Cove Tobago. So I'm looking forward to debunking some of that. When it comes to our tenants on the park, I'm looking forward, and just Tobago economy on a whole, I'm looking forward to actual business growth and development. I want to see the businesses in Tobago use the space and expand their operations, get up to code, the codes that they need to get up to, whether it be HACCP or any other specific industry specific codes. And I want to see us actually exporting our products and services out there. Tobago can't be the best kept secret in the Caribbean. We have to be the greatest little island
That's
on
right.
the planet.
And we have been the best kept secret for way
too long. We have so much innovative products and services and people out here. We need to see them thrive.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. And, you know, I really, really do hope that people buy into this, that they come out on the open house day and they, you know, get to interact with the actual information that will be provided for them so they have a better understanding for the benefits that are available to them with this open house. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
I would just like to encourage business to come to the open house. You will not be disappointed. You're going to be interacting with everyone that you would meet in the process, from the application process to the onboarding process to the construction process. And you will see that we are there to help you and to make your experience at Cove as easy and as seamless as possible. So I just really want to encourage you to come.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. And thank you so much, of course, for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
And, you know, for bringing that type of information to us and stirring up, I suppose, the hopes of potential or even registered businesses here on the island of Tobago who can occupy the space. And remind me again, no retail. And there was other...
No retail, no agriculture on the ground. So you can't farm animals there and you can't like dig into the ground. We have a berry farm there, so hydroponics is allowed. That's basically it. And of course, the businesses that locate on the park, it's an eco park, so it must be environmentally friendly. Can't cause harm to the environment.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And I do wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Coming out there of that open house. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Denelle Smith-Sandy, investor sourcing strategist at the Eco-Industrial Park. They're talking about the open house that takes place on October 9th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Of course, the hours of operations for that open house is based on you being able to manage your business throughout the day and still making it down there to get the information and to be a part of an opportunity of a lifetime. Remember, depending on the package you take, you can reap very, very good benefits to your business that will help you, you know, to propel there and, you know, establish your business well in the park as well. Thank you so much, Denelle. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a special thank you for those of you who stayed with us up until this point. Thank you to all of you viewing far and wide. Thank you for our loyal viewers. Every morning you come on and you give us that measure of support. You leave comments on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube live stream. And I want to say a special thank you to all of you this morning. Thank you so much for always being that measure of support and encouragement for the entire team here at the Tobago Updates Television Studios. We see you and we appreciate you so very much. This is where we end the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, but it's not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT, and as we go, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. Have a wonderful day.